as the Apollo 13 Command Module Odyssey, along with its attached lunar module Aquarius, drifted silently through the vast, cold emptiness of space. A critical moment was fast approaching. The explosion of an oxygen tank had crippled their spacecraft, turning a mission of lunar exploration into a desperate race for survival. Their trajectory was wrong. They were on a path that would miss the Earth by thousands of miles, dooming them to an eternity in the void. Their only hope was a precise, perfectly executed engine burn. Using the lunar module's descent, engine on engine designed to land on the moon, not to push a wounded command module back home. The astronauts, Jim Lovell, Jack Swift, and Fred Hayes, were exhausted, cold, and facing a challenge unlike any other in the history of spaceflight. Mission Control in Houston worked tirelessly, calculating the exact parameters for the burn. They needed to fire the engine for a specific duration, at a specific time, and with the spacecraft oriented perfectly. There was no room for error. A burn that was too short, too long, or misaligned would be just as fatal as doing nothing at all. Inside the lunar module, which had become their lifeboat, the astronauts prepared. Their primary guidance computer was shut down to conserve precious power. This meant they would have to fly manually. Jack Swigert would time the burn with his wristwatch, while Jim Lovell controlled the spacecraft's attitude. Lovell's challenge was immense. Without the computer's help, he had to keep the spacecraft steady by looking out the small window. Using the Earth's terminator line between day and night as his only reference point, it was like trying to steer a ship in a storm using only a sliver of the horizon. The slightest deviation could send them veering. Of course, the seconds ticked. The fate of the mission and their very lives rested on this single maneuver. In Houston, the flight director, Gene Kranz, and his team held their breath. They had done everything they could. Calculations were checked and rechecked. Instructions were relayed, confirmed, and confirmed again. Now, it was up to the crew, 200,000 miles from home. The tension in Mission Control was a palpable thing, a heavy silence hanging over the consoles as everyone watched their screens, waiting for the signal that the burn had begun. The call came from Lovell, his voice calm despite the incredible pressure. "We're burning." In the cold of space, the lunar module's descent engine ignited. A gentle, persistent push began to alter their path. Inside the cramped cockpit, Lovell focused intently, his hands steady on the controls, firing the small thrusters to keep the spacecraft aligned. He used the Earth's terminator as his guide, a thin, curved line separating light from dark. He had to keep that line perfectly centered in his window grid. Any wobble, any drift, and the burn would be compromised. For 4 minutes and 24 seconds, the engine fired. It was a lifetime. Swigert called out the time, his voice a steady rhythm against the hum of the cabin. 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, ... Every second that passed was a second closer to safety, but also a second where something could go catastrophically wrong. The engine, never designed for such a long, continuous burn in deep space, performed flawlessly. It pushed the crippled Apollo 13 with a steady, life-giving force. Then, the final countdown from Swigert. 10 seconds ... 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shutdown. Lovell cut the engine. A profound silence returned to the spacecraft, deeper than before. The burn was complete. Now came the agonizing wait. Had it been enough? Had it been accurate? The tracking teams on Earth immediately began analyzing the new trajectory. In the spacecraft, the crew could only float and wait. Their work done, their fate now in the hands of physics and the calculations of their colleagues back home. Minutes felt like hours. Then, the voice of the Capcom crackled through the speakers in the lunar module, breaking the tense silence. That looked like a good burn. We're showing you on a good trajectory. A wave of relief, quiet but immense, washed over the crew and through mission control. Cheers erupted in Houston. They had done it. Against all odds, they had manually flown a spacecraft designed for lunar landing and placed it on a path that would take it safely back to Earth. This maneuver, known as the PC+ to burn, was a testament to human ingenuity, courage, and teamwork. It was a perfect blend of ground control as brilliant problem-solving, and the astronaut, incredible skill under unimaginable pressure. The burn wasn't a fiery, dramatic explosion of power, but a controlled, precise, and vile pusher. Gentle lunge that made all the difference between being lost forever and the chance to come home. It was the moment the mission truly turned around, the moment hope became a tangible reality. As Odyssey and Aquarius continued their long journey home, the challenges were far from over. They still had to survive the cold, conserve power and water, and execute a complex and untested power-up sequence in the command module just before But the successful engine burn was the critical turning point. It was the engine firing for survival. A moment etched forever in the annals of space exploration. A quiet, powerful testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of the unknown. They were on their way home, carried through the darkness by the echo of that life-saving burn. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story of courage and ingenuity, please consider subscribing for more tales from the history of space exploration.